What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I
There
don't
you
know
are.
what's going on.
How are
Pain
you?
is what's going on. I'm all right. Did you see
Ah,
you got the fucking.
oh my god, dude.
I don't even
I
know how
can
he's allowed to post that low key. Like, even if it's blurred out.
I can already tell that I'm gonna want that as a poster. I know it's so blurred, but dude, I can already tell. You can see the helmet
Yeah.
in that picture,
You
and
could see him standing there. You
I
could
think you could
see,
see the Normandy.
yeah, you
I
could see
or maybe those are Reapers.
yeah, on the
You could
right,
see
those are
Garrus.
Reapers. Yeah, you could see, yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
The Normandy's on the bottom. It's like the
yeah.
bottom middle. It's coming out of that blue space.
Oh, that should be a poster. Oh my goodness.
There's no way it comes out tomorrow, though, right?
No, no way. I think I saw something about them talking about I saw like someone said something about EA plans on still releasing a remaster later this year. So maybe they'll get it out in December, but um there's something else. They're having like that N7 day tabletop thing where they're gonna have the cast come back and everything. So that's really we'll see. I mean, I guess they're gonna release a blog post first on their website.
Are they gonna
Um,
change Shepard's face, dog?
God, oh my lord, dude, your tweet.
This is my
I
crusade.
I don't even know. I first of all, you should have sent the one that I saw of like it's him and Miles
Oh yeah,
distinctly
no, I
looks
I saw
older than
that too.
him.
Yeah, it's
Oh my god,
it's
it's
tough.
it really is. It really really is. All right, I'm gonna do an intro. Welcome everyone. This is the first episode that I hope, for the love of God, we've recorded like 3 of these now, but this is the first one with like face cam, so I'm a lot more hopeful that this will actually get out. But this is the first episode of the Good Games podcast. I'm Justin Herold, and with me, my good buddy Adam Issa. Adam, how you doing, buddy?
You know, we're just chilling. We're rating. We're what 5 days?
Four.
Yeah, four days from the Xbox, 6 days from the PlayStation. So we're getting ready. We're close. I'm excited. Getting more amped every day.
Yeah, I can't believe. I mean, it's
It crept up.
yeah, it felt like it was a long time coming, like back when they never released the release dates,
Yeah.
and then it kind of came up really quickly here in this last couple of weeks. But we're 4 days away from the next generation, which is the next generation of consoles, more specifically, because we're
Yeah.
not really gonna get the next generation of video games until like a year from now, probably.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I already though I'm seeing like because it's not the same as it was like last gen, right? And this is something interesting, like tangent time, where
Yeah,
it's
go
like
for it.
the amount of technology, like when the PS4 and the Xbox One launched, right? They were underpowered. They were even
Mhm.
underpowered compared to PCs, but the speed of the SSDs and ray tracing being such a big thing, the amount of like technology that is like native to these consoles is already such a big leap that even games like Miles Morales, I would recommend everybody go watch the Digital Foundry thing. Like technologically, it's leaps and bounds ahead of what was released last year, and that's such a big thing. And I think like it's going to be the first next gen game. But I agree with you when we do see like stuff like God of War 2, that's going to be like the true stuff that's only designed for PS5 and Xbox. Well, that would be only designed for PS5, but whenever Rockstar comes out with their next shit, that's when it's gonna really be in full swing.
GTA 6. Yeah.
GTA 6.
I think my thing is we're really for Xbox at least. You said Miles Morales for PlayStation, but we're really gonna miss out on having Halo Infinite.
There's
I don't.
yeah, there's just nothing.
I don't know that. Are they gonna try to make it compatible with the Xbox? I mean, they absolutely are with the old Xbox Ones, right? They're gonna make it compatible.
I think they will, but I think so from what I understand, and I don't have any sources, I'm just a guy who reads a lot. The game is done content wise, but I think what's happening is they're optimizing so that the
Mhm.
Series X version looks better, and what the demo we saw will probably be more realistic of what the Xbox One version looks like. It's going to be stuff like that where I just think what they're doing is the technical aspect of the game is being refined to a T, because you can't launch, like Microsoft knows, 343 knows, you can't launch that game anything less than like a 9, so they're going to make sure it looks great because they want it to last for 10 years, and they're going to make sure all that stuff.
So my two critiques, obviously me and you and a couple of our buddies have talked about, that first gameplay trailer that we saw. I think my biggest critique with Halo and with Cyberpunk doesn't necessarily come with from them necessarily. It comes from these next generation consoles coming out when they did, and us knowing about Halo Infinite. I think about 2 years ago, right?
Well, the title last year, but no, yeah,
We got
2 years ago. 2 years ago, it did have the title. Yeah.
Yeah, and Cyberpunk obviously has
7 years in 2013.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like the 2 to 3 years ago that I think it's 2.5 now at this point.
It was re-revealed, yeah.
Yeah, where we got the gameplay and such. I think they have been, and obviously with COVID, everything, they've had delays, and Cyberpunk is the worst of them all. I think, like you said, the content is done in all those games. I think with Cyberpunk, before this latest pushback, they were fixing bugs, but now I really do think that they are trying to optimize for all the systems. Like they said, they had to do 9 tests, but I just had Cyberpunk have been announced like Miles Morales had been, where
like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah, or Horizon, where it's like these are not our next generation games, then they wouldn't have had to. And even listening and reading a little bit, it really seems like they're just like, shit, like we wish this was just a next generation game at this point, because that's how big that game is.
I would say it's a little different though, because like Miles Morales is coming out on PS4, so is Horizon. The thing with Cyberpunk is I don't think they want it to just be an next gen game, because there's 150 million Xbox Ones and PS4s, and it's like you can't make a game that's this expensive and be like, well, we're not gonna cater to the largest portion of the market. It does pigeonhole them in terms of technology and the stuff that they have to deal with, but I also think that they should just it's getting trickier, because they could just keep refining, but those consoles are never gonna. I don't think they're ever gonna meet the type of performance that they want from that game. Like, it's gonna be 30 FPS. It's gonna probably stutter. It's gonna take 2 minutes to load every instance, and like that's tricky for them. But like at one point you just have to call it, because they're on their 4th delay at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they delayed. So the initial release was sometime back in April. Then they moved it to September. Then they moved it to November. Then they moved it to December. So 4. Yeah, I mean, ludicrous. Absolute ludicrous. But I mean,
it delayed out of last year? No, it was always this year. Okay,
yeah. I can't believe that this game was supposed to be out in April of this year. It's kind of nuts, but a lot of things have happened. But what is the game that you think is going to be like the closest? What is like the closest game that we're going to get at launch that you think is like? I mean, I guess Miles Morales is a next gen kind of game, but like, what do you think in terms of games would you consider the most like next gen? I understand that like Miles Morales is there, but
I know what you mean though. But it's built off of a PS4 game. It's all the same stuff. Yeah,
and it's smaller. It's smaller than said PS4 game. So of course it can. It's almost like The Last of Us 1, where it's like an 8-hour game. So when they remastered that game, like it's just they refined the look of it, and essentially that's what they did with Miles Morales and added a new story, but it's far less than what the Spider-Man PS4 game was.
When we're talking about what's going to be like the first extra game, I'm truly probably thinking it's tricky to me, because I don't know when any of these games are coming out, right? I just know that they're coming out eventually. I kind of want to look towards something like Final Fantasy 16, where that's Square Enix. It's going to be PS5 only. They know how to make a game. We all know that. And it's a different setting, different gameplay mechanics. I feel like when we truly get into the nitty gritty, that'll be one of the games where everybody's like, wow, what these things can do is incredible. And because like, I mean, it does depend on when Halo comes out, but I also think it's going to be Halo. Like it's although the campaign and all that stuff, who knows, it could really transcend that model, transcend what's going on there. But for the most part, I still think it's going to be what Halo is, and that's always a great thing. But Halo is successful because it's Halo. So yeah, I mean, God of War 2 is the one that I'm also super looking at because it is coming out next year, and like that's gonna be huge. It's gonna be giant. And who knows what Corey Barlog and I mean if he's even director, what those maniacs are cooking up at Sony Santa Monica. But I mean,
I feel like it's got to be Halo for me.
yeah,
Honestly, the rumors that we heard about how they plan to work Halo as a Master Chief Collection game really intrigues me in terms of like the next generation of consoles. Like, we're gonna see how well the performance of games are and how well you can add content to those games. It's gonna be weird that that they're gonna add brand new content of apparently a spin-off.
yeah,
It's gonna be what? It's gonna be Halo Infinite is the next decade worth of Halo. In
that's
terms
their
of
plan. Yeah,
how they're gonna release games and stuff, they're just gonna release it within Infinite, which is
yeah,
super intriguing to me. And I just outside of games in general, I think the technology that has to go into that really intrigues me more so than any game alone. Obviously, there are the games like God of War 2, Horizon Zero Dawn. What is it's called?
Forbidden West, Horizon.
Forbidden West. Yeah. Um, I can't think of an Xbox game. I'm thinking like, what is it? Fable
Fable,
4.
and Disavowed,
Yeah,
or Unavowed.
I think it's
Avowed.
Avowed.
It's Avowed.
Avowed. Yeah,
It's just Avowed.
right.
And stuff like that. But I
The
mean, and
Elder Scrolls.
whatever. Starfield's a good one. But
Right,
whatever
right.
the initiative's working on. But like, truly, I mean, you're not wrong in that sense because like that's a different kind of game.
Yeah.
That is a platform as much as it is a game, and that's really interesting. Like, ultimately, I guess we know what God of War 2 is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be God of War 2. It's going to be God of War Ragnarok. It's going to be Kratos and Atreus doing stuff in that incredibly smooth combat. It's the Sony formula that's worked for 2 generations now. But when we step into what Xbox is doing, I think it's a little bit more interesting because they're not tied necessarily to a formula, and it shows that they're more tied to just having stuff on Game Pass and having a breadth of content. And that could be really interesting because yeah, we did see a rumor, completely unsubstantiated, but interesting to talk about and think about nonetheless, that like there's going to be story expansions that just get put into Halo Infinite, and like that is very intriguing to me, where it's like you're basically getting a full game inside this already hopefully great game, and with free multiplayer. I've completely forgot about that part. Free multiplayer, 120 frames per second. Like that's crazy. You're not wrong. Like Halo Infinite, if it's supposed to come out in March to May or something like that was the rumor. That for me will be like, okay, we're in the next gen, even though it's going to be on last gen consoles. Like that is going to be the game that I feel like is the thing for Xbox and will help mark the start of next gen, because like you're right, I don't think there's a ton of games right now that are like making me like, even for my Xbox, it's like a couple of old Ubisoft games, that I'm gonna get on it day one. But
Yeah, my real interest, and I won't know because I mean I'll watch comparison videos at some point, but like obviously the critique of these games will be how they look and how they feel, and we're gonna get the Xbox on the 10th, and I'm gonna get Assassin's
yeah,
Creed Valhalla, which will be like a taste, I guess, to see how it works and how it operates on the next gen console, how smoothly things go, fast travel, and all that kind of stuff. I'm honestly looking like I was thinking about like features of the next gen consoles, and obviously the DualSense controller for the PlayStation has been like talked up so much, which I'm really interested to, get a feel for it and play some games off of that. But the quick resume on Xbox is really intriguing for me, especially when like I think about you and you playing. I mean, you play a lot more multiplayer games than I do, and so when you got friends like Ricky or Kyle and they're bugging you about like, hey, like let's play Call of Duty, let's play this, whatever, and you're like in the middle of playing a story game, and you're like, all right, well, yeah, I'll come.
Yeah, I can do that. It's
now.
A dream come true. It's not. I have to wait to get to a checkpoint anymore.
Right, and so that's a super neat feature that I think is probably the most boast about thing about the Xbox Series X at this point, besides Game Pass, because everything else is just like, oh, the launch lineup is. Yeah, there is nothing to that launch lineup.
There is no launch lineup, yeah.
So
non-existent.
Right. So, but I don't know. I'm really interested to, get my month full of Assassin's Creed in. Obviously, I've read the articles so far about Miles Morales. It's less than 7 hours, I think, is what I've heard about. If you streamline the story itself, it's like 7 hours. If you go and you do the side stuff, 7 to 10 hours. So I'll probably take Friday off next week and just get the hopefully we get our PlayStations on, because we ordered off of Amazon.
They said they're coming.
Says it's coming on the 12th. It said it should be delivered.
It's coming.
I actually got my email from GameStop from where I ordered for the Xbox Series X. Said it's going to be coming on the 9th. I don't know like if that's just like, oh, they're gonna like ship it on the 9th, and
it could be shipping it on that. Could just come on the 9th. Honestly, a lot of these people might want to try and get ahead of it.
Right. That'd be sick. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But
no, you wouldn't have anything to play, but you wouldn't have a problem.
Right. But
boot up Watch Dogs Legions again, or Legion.
I beat that game yesterday, dude.
Oh, not good.
It's like, I think I'm putting it in the same category as Avengers, where it's like.
Tough.
Yeah, like it was like a 5. Honestly, that was such, and I might even put it lower than that. Like, it really upsets me, because like another thing that me and you have talked about at length is when outlets give scores of the 1 through 10s, and I think now more than ever the 8 out of 10.
8 is 5, yeah.
Yeah, 8 has got to be 5, because like 8 is just consistent.
Or 8 is like 6.
8 is just like the most consistent number I've seen in like the last 6 months for games that have come out, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure, I need to look it up, but I think IGN may have given Ghost of Tsushima an 8. And I'm like, there is no way that they're comparing Watch Dogs Legions to Ghost of Tsushima and giving it like an 8.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting, because I've come around on Tsushima more, because like that multiplayer edition is really cool. Still have to do the raid, but yeah, it's something so. I hate the way reviews work with numbers, because I mean, you need the number, because I feel like gamers are an instant gratification crowd. They want to know the number, and they don't want to read the review, and they want to get out. But like, for the most part, I think reviews without numbers are so much more helpful, because it helps you get the spirit of what they're saying much more. And when you have people like IGN and Game Informer and GameSpot's a little bit better, but where they have relationships with these companies, and they almost, I'm not going to say they feel pressured, but for the most part, it feels like they're pressured to never give anything that's big lower than an 8. Like, I cannot tell you the last time I saw a giant game, except for maybe Days Gone. Like, that's the only time and I think that game's awful. I think that game's like a 4, and they gave it like a 6 or something, or a 7. And it's like, they only use 4 points on the review scale. They use 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nothing ever really goes under that, unless it's like an indie game or a complete shit show of a game. So it is a problem with games criticism right now, because I think the medium desperately wants to evolve, and it can't because of the spot it's in.
I think that the numbers is just like straight up clickbait. It's
Yeah.
just to get people to click onto the article or onto the review and watch or read it. Because honestly, I'm going through the only thing that's under like an 8 that's notable is Avengers. They gave Avengers a 6.
Yeah.
Which is fair. It's like the most fair rating that they probably have on here. Because if you go through the rest of it, they gave Star Wars Squadrons an 8. I don't really think it's an 8. It's a great multiplayer game. It's definitely not an 8 in terms of a complete game.
Like Ghost of Tsushima is an 8. It's like an 8.5.
It's a 9 on. It's on.
But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like to me, it's like an 8.5, maybe a
Right.
9 with the multiplayer, and that game's great. Is Squadrons really like a full-bodied experience in that way? No,
Exactly. Yeah, and even like they rated the DLC for the Pokemon game, they gave it an 8. And obviously, like when you look at these things, you can't take it at like the face value. You have to click onto the article. But like again, it is such a frustrating thing to be like, oh man, like these guys gave this thing an 8. Like, wonder why. And then you go in and you click on it, and it's like they explain it, but they don't like really give it a true criticism. Like, I don't even want to like click on this Watch Dogs Legion review because I know. I just got done playing this game, and I know for a fact that it's not an 8. It's nowhere near an 8 because like we said, I mean, me and you, we've given our opinions on a couple games that have come out this year and said like 8, 9s,
10 even for some.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I've just been in such like a November or October was okay because I got my Pokemon fill, and then I got Watch Dogs and I played it, I guess, and finished it. But my God, was that just so? It was such an awful story game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it has an aspect to it of like it wants you to like wait for the multiplayer to come out, and maybe
it's not even out yet.
No, it's not. I think it comes out in December. It tells you on the main screen that it comes out later. But I'm like, I don't know. I knew going into that game that I was going to be very skeptical about how the story went, and it was so like apparent what was going to happen at every turn. They had like some like I was like tweeting about it like I tweeted like twice about it. I think it had like the storyline of I was like a part of it was like cyberpunk. Like there was a cyberpunk aspect to it. Where like people have these like implants on the side of their head that like allows like an AI to communicate with them and all this other stuff. It was just like a hodgepodge mess and really just did not click with me at all. It was and the driving in that game was it's so horrendous. It's so horrendous. It's so sensitive. I've never like played a game where the driving, like obviously GTA is probably like the pinnacle of what I think about driving in video games. Like I really enjoyed driving in GTA. But like, oh my Lord, have I never driven a car where if I slightly turn left, I just swerve completely.
Dude, that was like my biggest thing. The slick London streets. It's always raining.
the slang and they tried to incorporate through the dialogue was kind of funny, but none of the characters build themselves to be like
I mean that was always the fear, right? With like completely user generated, or well, not user generated, but like randomly generated user like sought out characters, where you're making your own story, but you have to do it in the confines of this game and its systems. And it's like, well, that sounds super cool and sounds good for really interesting. What's the word? Whatever. I don't remember the word, but like instances where stuff pops up and, you get your storytelling through that, but.
And the big like driving point to them was like, oh, you can like pick anyone out from the streets. And I was like, after I found like 2 characters that I really liked, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play these 2 characters. There was no reason for me to go out and actually like try to find more characters. Just was nothing compelling about it.
It just about really... Aiden Pierce. Did you find Hackermans?
No.
Oh my God. Bro, you see, this is why you didn't like the game. You didn't find the hacker extraordinaire. You didn't find the man. You didn't find the watchdog, dog.
Is he in the game immediately?
I don't know. I think you have to have the season pass.
I'm pretty sure it's the season pass. I mean,
yeah, I think
who knows?
mission.
Who knows how that'll? I mean,
no. He's in the game now, I think, but I think
really?
you have to own the season pass to get him.
Oh, interesting. Weird.
Yeah. It's like, you know how they do the AC missions where you get like a stupid random mission
and you get like a weapon or something.
Yeah, and a weapon. It's like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
Which is dumb. But right. Yeah, I mean, I was excited for it. I was excited for emergent storytelling, like you know, random instancing of like, oh, this character's cool and it's doing something and now they're mine and blah blah blah. But like, it was never gonna ever rise to the level of like a story like The Last of Us or a story like Ghost, and that was, I guess, always, it's like it had a ceiling, you know. I think if it did everything perfectly, it could be like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, maybe an 8. Yeah. I just think like the biggest part of their game was the whole like you have to be able, or not have to, but like you should go out and find people that you like. And like there was one instance where they have like a certain thing happen in the story where one of your characters actually becomes unavailable to play. So it gets you to get out of that instance of, okay, I'm dedicated to this character. I'm just going to play this as the whole time through, but they only do it the one time. And like you can play on permadeath, which I did. I played on permadeath, and like it really just wasn't difficult at all, because if you use like the spider bot, you never have to actually go into the areas as the character. And the few times that they put you in situations where like you have to fight out got like a little bit intense, but you do have other gadgets. Like I used the spider bot and the cloak the most, and I had like a setup. I had one that was the cloak guy and one that was the spider bot guy. And when I knew like it was going to be a certain instance or I could pick up on it, I would use one or the other. So it is what it is. But games have been just really, you know, slow. There just hasn't been a lot. I mean, obviously I think the last game you bought is probably Avengers, right? And then Ghost got the multiplayer DLC.
I bought Hades again. Yeah, that's like the last big game, but that to me was the last big game, you know, like other than Watch Dogs, what else came out?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't consider Squadrons a huge game. Like it was $40. But like there hasn't been like a really big game since Ghost. Right. You know what I mean? Like this year started off really strong, and like the end was also supposed to be really strong, and then it was like, yeah, but we're delaying everything until next year. So it's like, okay, so
or till next gen.
Yeah, or till next gen.
I feel like Assassin's Creed could have probably came out earlier than it is, but like Xbox used it.
Deal, yeah.
Yeah, Xbox used it to promote the Series X and all that. So Series X and S. So I mean that is what it is, but I'm interested to see how well like backwards compatibility works with games, like how well those games feel. I don't know. I might go back and play Dragon Age Origins and see how that works, but we'll see.
That's the thing about the Series X that I thought was really interesting, because it doesn't feel like the PS5 in good and bad ways. Like again, there's no launch lineup.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the biggest thing. Like that makes it not feel like the PS5. There's no Demon's Souls and there's no Spider-Man Miles Morales. To me, it sort of just feels like a really big PC upgrade.
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna go.
You're gonna get to like a PC.
Yeah. I'm gonna go play like Halo 5 for another 100 hours because it's gonna run at like 120 frames and be insane. That's not confirmed, so don't take my word on that. But like you know what I mean? Like it's just gonna be like there's gonna be some crazy insane stuff that it gets added to games that I love, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll try that again. Or even just games that will now load faster. Like I'll go back and play more Red Dead 2 because I don't have to wait 2 minutes for it to load up. You know what I mean?
That's
like that's
huge facts.
And it'll be 60 frames per second, 4K HDR. And who knows? I know Rockstar is the kind of people who will be like, we'll put ray tracing in. Why not? I mean, there's nothing to ray trace other than water in Red Dead, but like, that's
Yeah.
still super interesting and cool.
Yeah, I'm honestly there's like a couple games I could think of right now that aren't like, when we last tried to do like the audio version of the podcast, we were off of the DC fandom event, and we
Oh
got
yeah.
the stuff for the new Kill the Justice League Suicide Squad game, which will be a next gen game at some
Yeah.
point. The Gotham Knight games, which I thought they looked good. But like that Harry Potter game,
Yeah.
that game, and maybe it's just because I'm like a nerd for Star Wars and Harry Potter and all that, but that's gonna be such like a game that I keep my eye on because it's gonna be like an RPG, and my love for RPGs extends way further than anything.
Yeah.
So, but games like that really intrigue me. Obviously, Fable 4 or whatever they're gonna call it.
It's just Fable. I think it's a reboot.
Oh,
So it's
that's
just Fable.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, these next gen really does have like a chance to like be super unique compared to these past generations. Because honestly, you go and you pick out games from this last generation, and you might come up with like 5 to 10 that really define the generation. But honestly, moving forward,
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And
we're not even talking about the Switch either.
no,
Not
not really. But yeah, but Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze 9 times and Breath of the Wild 1 time. And there you go. That's your 10 that define the generation. But yeah, no, sorry, continue.
No, it's just that I mean, there's a lot to look forward to with
Yeah, no, there
it.
really is.
I think a lot of people though, and I know like Jeff, who we'll get on here at some point when we can arrange it, but he didn't get the chance to make a pre-order. Walmart coming out with pre-order dates, I think, on the day of release for PlayStation.
Yeah, not pre-order dates, just like order dates. They have a new like you order it, you'll get it. But good luck.
Right. He's got 4 times. Just got to be. He's got
Yeah.
4 opportunities. Hopefully he lands on one of them. But
yeah,
I think a lot of people, obviously, again, me and you, we've talked to our other friends, Ricky and Danny, who are thinking about getting next generation consoles. Ricky's not going to get it right away. He says he's going to wait till Black Friday or
he always does.
whatever to try to get it, which I don't know how he thinks that's going to work, if he's just going to get it online or whatever.
I mean, Best Buy said they're not selling the consoles in stores.
Yeah, I
at
don't
all
know.
this holiday, so they're doing it online only.
Right. He's gonna have to be probably really proactive about it. And then Danny, like, who knows when Danny would actually want to get a new Xbox, probably before he goes off.
He's not getting an Xbox, I don't think. Oh, I called him and he was like, "Yeah, I'm probably getting a PlayStation."
Dude, this kid keeps switching up. Legit, we just had a conversation on Twitter with everyone that he was like, yeah, I'm probably going to get an Xbox. And him and Ricky were, jerking each other off a little bit. And then.
No, so when was that?
It's got to be sometime like within the last month.
Okay, because last Friday,
I
FaceTimed him to bully him. And because me and Ricky were hanging out and we were like, haha, you're alone. He wasn't, but he was like, also think I'm getting a PlayStation 5. And so I don't know, he's like the test subject, man. He's the layman to me.
He just doesn't know what he wants.
Exactly. So eventually when he chooses, it'll tell me what console really is, what consoles really pique at people's interests.
It really does not make sense to me, because in all honesty, if I'm Danny and we know how much Danny plays video games, and maybe he'll change. Yeah. It could very much change.
Yeah.
But he honestly should just get an Xbox. I mean, the Game Pass for me is like a done deal in the sense of how much you get for what you pay for. Obviously, if Danny was a, huge fan of all these other PlayStation exclusives, which he probably isn't, the only thing he'd be a fan of is the Spider-Man games. And for the longest time we were talking to him about getting it for Avengers. and even now, like that's not even the selling point for PlayStation. In his
That
case,
game's dead.
we got what, like
We
a
got a good
couple of
week or two out of
photos.
it.
Yeah, but we got some photos like recently of like the Black Panther,
Yeah, leaks. Yeah, I
which
mean,
is
I just feel like that whole. I think the game should have just been delayed. To be honest.
that should have been another one. It's just I don't want to talk about delays.
Who knows? Who knows if Cyberpunk even comes out? No, I'm kidding. But
that tweet that you sent, or I don't know if it was you or Ricky, about the date's always been in the name.
yeah, exactly. 2077, baby. Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like it's really interesting because I think we're at a really interesting point where there's a lot to look forward to. I hope there's stuff that we haven't even thought of yet. Like I'm really, really hyped to just see what these super talented teams can do with new tech. Because like, I mean, look at Naughty Dog, right? I just beat The Last of Us Part 2 again, and
I saw that.
yeah,
Did you just platinum it? You
yeah,
platinum it
I was
before
missing.
though.
No, I was missing like 2 coins.
Oh, okay.
So I just finished my
coins.
I finished my playthrough and got the 2 coins that I needed.
The coins and the cards are probably
I
really.
actually had all the cards. I missed
The
like
first
2
time around?
cards. I had missed like 2 cards in my first playthrough.
That's impressive.
So I was like really impressed with myself, and I only missed like 1 safe. But
with the combinations,
I missed 1. I had the combination. I just missed the safe.
Oh.
But
I would find the safe, but I would never find the combination somehow, or for some of them, which was weird because I'd always assume that they're like really close by or something, but I don't know.
Some of them are in like different areas, like always before, but
yeah,
that game's good. But like, speaking of, that game is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's so gorgeous. It's prettier than most of the stuff I've seen come to next gen. Like I cannot wait to see what Naughty Dog comes up with in like 2 years for the PlayStation 5. Like whatever that is just going to be insane, and it's going to be bonkers.
Do you think they do something with the Uncharted franchise? I mean,
I don't think they do.
Oof.
I think that new Sony studio does. Sony San Diego, or sorry, I banged my desk. Sony San Diego or something like that. I think they do, because they've been hiring people for something that we have no idea what, but they're hiring them for something, and it's apparently third person action, blah blah blah. But like, yeah, I'm super interested to see what comes out of them. But ultimately, I kind of just want a Last of Us prequel now.
A prequel?
Yeah, man. I think it'd be really interesting that we get the middle of Joel's story, the end of Joel's story. Spoilers. Haha, fuck you. And
the game's been out for like 5.
No,
whatever.
I feel bad, honestly. But and like, because like there's a lot that's like referenced about what Tommy and Joel did at the start of Outbreak.
Right.
And I think that's that there's a lot of meat that you can get there.
I feel like they pull a spinoff with that though, right? Like that'd be like a spinoff.
Oh, it would be
game.
Part 3.
Yeah.
No,
but it would be like what Uncharted did with the
Lost
the game.
Legacy.
Yeah. Like
but I would want like a full 20-hour thing.
I feel like you'd be hard pressed to get that. Could be wrong.
I honestly do not think you would. Like, seeing how Tommy and Joel got the way they were, there's a lot that you can do there, and I think Druckmann knows that. I also think that they've made gameplay. I mean, although if you wanted to do it as DLC for Last of Us Part 2,
that's fair. They did do the
Left Behind.
Like, yeah, that was like a prequel, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, you wouldn't get as much as you want then.
Yeah, I know. I would really actually like a full-fledged game, but I have no idea, honestly. I have no idea what anyone's going to do, and that's the exciting part. Like, I don't know what Naughty Dog's going to do. I don't know what Sucker Punch is doing next. Actually, I probably know what Sucker Punch. They're doing Ghosts too.
Yeah.
I do. Who knows what?
Maybe get like a new.
No, we know what
game.
Insomniac's doing. Huh?
Maybe get like a new Infamous game. That'd be really
Yeah,
good.
I would have said yes if or if Ghost didn't do as well as it did. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Ghost did gangbusters business. But it's weird that I said we don't know what anybody's doing, but we really do. I'm a liar and a cheat.
Insomniac, I feel like Insomniac's got to do something with this next Spider-Man game in terms of like
Oh
it,
yeah, I was gonna say
and
it's only Spider-Man and Ratchet
yeah,
for them. Yeah.
yeah, but like for me, for this next Spider-Man game, in order for it to like take it to the next level, it's got to do something that I honestly disagreed with you for a very long time for about, and that's like making it a very good co-op game
Yeah.
where you could incorporate the Peter Parker and the Miles Morales kind of teamwork scenarios. Because honestly, at this point, I'm fine with it. They're copy and pasting the world essentially. Um, the stories will always continue to
Yeah.
be
I think
good
that's
and
the
be
big
great,
part. Yeah.
but like if they could one, they got to work on the side quests, because I'm pretty sure the side quests in this game are just going to be the same as the last one.
Apparently they're better from a
Really?
couple of reviews I read, but there's
Are they
also
like
that
are they
said
like
they're kind of the same. So
I feel like they're probably the same in the aspect of like you have to do
it's
the
just the
same
same
stuff,
stuff. Yeah.
but like maybe it tails more to the story a little bit better, or maybe
Yeah.
it's not
Hopefully.
like, yeah, but
Hopefully I
for
invest in them more.
right, but hopefully like with the Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man 2, hopefully they incorporate a larger gameplay kind of overhaul, in the sense
Yeah.
of like you can't just have the same side quests over and over. I understand that the stories are great,
Hmm.
and the graphics are great, and the swinging around is great,
Yeah, it feels good.
but like how many times can you copy and repeat that?
Exactly. And that was that's been my criticism of Spider-Man, of why I never viewed it in the same light as something like God of War.
Mm.
Uh because I mean even like yeah, there's like you have to find chests to God of, but like look at the Valkyrie stuff. Like that stuff in God of War feels more valuable and more interesting than anything in Spider-Man other than the main quest. Like it's more challenging. That's the other thing. I hope these games get harder. But I did have an interesting thought today while I was looking at Miles Morales stuff, because obviously the embargo just lifted today. Um, I'm gonna be really interested to see what they do in the next one, because we play this pseudo sequel where he has a bigger power set
Right. And he still has the technology.
and he still has all the stuff Peter has, and it's
I don't
like,
know if he has all of it, but he might, we
but
know
like
that he has the tech.
still, yeah, he's got a lot of the gadgets. So like, are we gonna go back to Peter Parker, where he's just Spider-Man without invisibility, without Venom strikes, without like that's sounds kind of boring to me. You know what I mean? Like you can't expand the power set and then parse it down. Which is why I think we're getting the Venom suit, but that's a talk for another day. Maybe we'll do
Mm,
I think we should do a podcast where we talk about maybe what everybody is going to do eventually. We don't have to do it now because I think
right.
that bodes a bigger discussion. But yeah, I think they're in a really interesting spot that could also be potentially pretty scary if they don't navigate it right, because we're at a point where we see that there's power creep,
Yeah.
I
I
guess,
I
coming
think
into
the
Spider-Man games.
I think the nice thing will be, we get this, like you said, little side story with Miles, and it'll give people their fill of Spider-Man for now, and then you can come out, or Insomniac can take its time with this next game, because I'll be perfectly happy with them taking their time, considering there's a lot of games that you can still see coming out in the near future for PlayStation, with Horizon, with God of War 2, with whatever Naughty Dog's gonna do, Sucker Punch, whatever they're going to come out with. I mean, there's going to be a lot of games to look really forward to and like be really hyped about. And that's going to be one of those games where, I prefer that they take time to overhaul a lot of things and make, like you're saying, they're going to have to find out a way to make Peter somewhat more unique than what he already was. So I think they'll be sitting in a fairly good spot. I think that having one of the maps already one section of the map already pretty much done. All
Yeah,
they're gonna have
built.
to,
Yeah.
all they're
Like
gonna
they
need
have
to do,
Manhattan built. Yeah.
right? All they're gonna need to do is probably like wipe the snow off and whatever. But
I
um,
think you want my spicy hot prediction and take.
sure.
I literally think we're gonna get Spider-Man 2 by 2022 because this is a
Uh,
different team.
when is the Spider-Man 3 movie coming out?
To be fair, we can't ever predict that because
They just
who knows
started
when the
shooting.
theaters are coming up. But I would assume next year.
Yeah, we're not getting it before next year, or we're not
No,
getting it
I
next year.
think
2022
4 years
is, I mean, 2022 is a good prediction, I think.
because I think 2 years. So like this came out 2 years after Spider-Man,
Yeah,
and then Spider-Man. That's 4 years for the main team to be working on Spider-Man 2. And I honestly think that they want to keep these things pumping out because they sell like hotcakes.
right.
And then I think 2 years after that, we'll get another Miles game. Like I honestly think this is going to become like a little staple, like almost Assassin's Creed like. But I mean, who knows for how long? But yeah, I would agree that I would like them to like take a lot of time and really overhaul, but I don't think that's the case. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I completely forgot that this is a different team working
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
game.
It's
So,
not. It's different creative director. Brian Intihar basically like already confirmed that he's working on. He said he's working on something else in the
yeah.
Spider-Man universe. So
And you saying Assassin's Creed, like bringing up Assassin's Creed in the staple of their games, it's so hard to imagine that we're getting like a next generation, we're getting next generation consoles, and we're getting a Assassin's Creed game at launch. But it doesn't really feel like I, I don't know if it's like a missed opportunity, or maybe it's a perfect, selling game, for
yeah,
how big Odyssey and Origins have been.
yeah.
Maybe this is the perfect way to launch a Assassin's Creed game on next generation without having the expectations of a next generation game or Assassin's Creed game. Because the next time we get like info or anything about a new Assassin's Creed game, it's gonna be pretty bonkers to think about.
I can't even like. I don't. There's no way we get one next year, right?
No, absolutely. Wait a minute. When did Odyssey come out? Odyssey came out in like 2017, right? Man, if I look this up right now and it says 2018, I'll be kind of blown out of the
2018.
water.
2018. There was a gap year, so we might get one next year.
Wow, we really did get it in 2018.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that
that's
means the gap
nuts.
year is over, and Origins came out in 2017, and then 2019 was the gap year, and then 2020 is Ragnarok, which means that we probably are going to get another game next year for Assassin's Creed.
Wow. No way. Not on next gen.
Dude,
There's
I
no
think so.
way. First of all, I think with everyone after they did like Egypt and they did Greece, like I feel like Valhalla was just like immediately like the next set. Like everyone knew that.
Yeah.
But now like where are they gonna, like what kind of historical kind of, what's got like a lot of rich history to it?
A place where they can make money. No, I just know that Ubisoft is like they always want those games out because they make money. And
Like a South American
oh,
Assassin's
that
Creed
would be
game?
sick actually. Like Mayan Assassin's Creed. I mean, I don't know how
Yeah.
it would work, but that would
It'd
be
be like
awesome.
it'd be like pretty it'd be like kind of similar to Origins a little bit, but
But it would be
like
so much different,
yeah.
just
Well,
in terms of
time and place would be
yeah.
the key to that. So, like you could put it in the when fucking sometime after or during when the expeditions come, and I feel like you could put something in there maybe in that time frame. But
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be an idea. But I'm honestly 4 days away from it. I'm pretty excited.
I'm getting hype. I'm gonna get Assassin's Creed because like there's literally nothing else.
Right. That will take your time up all the way till I mean, probably even past the release of Cyberpunk, and obviously
Exactly.
for those of oh my god, dude, my thing is I can't wait now. 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'm gonna find out when this Mass Effect uh
What if it comes
legendary.
out on December 10th?
I'm gonna be so upset, dude.
What do you choose? I need to know. That's like your character arc, dude. That's your like that's every character has to come to their decision. You know, like they have to make
It
a
would
decision
probably have to be Mass Effect.
because I mean
Honest,
it'd take a lot longer or a
it
lot
would.
shorter rather.
Yeah, because once I hop on, because I know, obviously, if it's just it's a remake or not remake, it's a remaster. So I
Yeah.
already know, unless they like, oh, but we're adding content
Director's
to,
cut. Yeah.
yeah. If they did that kind of stuff, then maybe there's some interesting things there. But like honestly, I know the story of Mass Effect. I'll definitely want to play it again just because I love that series. It's like my child. It's like what got me into RPG games.
Yeah.
But once I play Cyberpunk, I'm probably not picking another game up until like maybe Lego Star Wars comes out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
That's
that.
the only thing I can think of that's coming out sometime next year in the near future. That or Halo is all I can think about.
What's coming out in 2021 games? I've leaned forward. Gamer mode activated. I'm pretty sure Far Cry 6 got delayed.
I'm not gonna play Far Cry 6. Probably.
I know. I'm just like even looking. Hitman 3. You're not gonna play.
No. Quite literally for the first like quarter of 2021, I will probably be just playing Cyberpunk on.
I mean, there's nothing coming out, so I don't blame you.
The only thing I can think of is Lego Star Wars, and if Halo comes out in the earlier stage of 2021.
But I think Lego Star Wars is not even coming out like early,
which is surprising because they were supposed to come out sometime this year, like in December, I think. But
yeah, they were supposed to come out in October.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the rumor. It was like October 26th or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a great game.
I'm very excited. Yeah.
They got a little.
Honestly, we should do a 2021. Actually, I'm gonna save my opinions for a 2021 episode. Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal, actually.
Question: speaking of Star Wars, when are you gonna watch Mando?
I'm watching it the second we're done with this podcast. I'm going to get Canes.
Oh.
And I'm gonna go watch The Mandalorian. Woo!
No watching it with Ricky today.
No, he's coming. That's why I'm waiting. Or I would have watched it last night.
If what's it called? Loki, you want to like wait for me? Maybe I gotta like take a test.
Sure, dog.
And maybe like walk my dogs. But after that, I could come over. I've already watched it. But I'd be there for the conversation afterwards.
Yeah. Give us the time. Maybe while you do that, we go pick up the snacks. And then
canes.
Yeah.
Word. But all right, I think that's about it.
Yeah. I think that was a little scatterbrained, but we got there.
I mean, yeah, these aren't going to be really honestly. The more I've learned with doing the podcast with, and this is talking out of context, but me and Jeff do a more structured kind of like sports podcast. Honestly, I'd rather this just be kind of like casual, like it has been.
I agree.
This was probably like our best one that we've recorded. This is the third one at this point. But this is going to come out and I'm going to put it out right now after this. So I might actually have to like wait on. I'll just let you guys watch it and I'll text you guys. But
we'll FaceTime you, dog.
Right, but I want this to be a little bit more casual, and obviously when we bring other people in, it's gonna be more casual. So
maybe just have one topic and then whatever happens from there happens from there.
Yeah, we'll come in with some plan.
We talked about next gen. That was the big thing. So
that was, and we didn't even really like say anything, but I knew for a fact that we were going to talk about next gen stuff.
Exactly.
So, but that's good stuff. So, but I'm just gonna wrap it up here. So thank you all for watching. I'm gonna post this on YouTube and on Anchor, which will go out to other social medias. No, other podcasts, audio sites, and all that kind of stuff. So, but again, putting it out on YouTube. I'll tweet about it, and thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. Peace.